Hi, the Team Weekly Memo works best as an internal newsletter published first thing Monday morning. Why is that? Well, the memo provides direction to your team for the week. It ensures everyone is on the same page, headed in the same direction. This supports your responsibility of defining direction and aligning efforts to achieve your mission and goals. This memo has three functions: provide direction, reinforce your culture, and support accountability. And you'll see that throughout the different parts of this memo. First, it starts with a quote to set the tone for the week. And then right beside it here, you can recognize special celebrations or milestones on the team. Then moving into last week, it provides project updates, which supports accountability. And then included are call out boxes, one for team highlights, which is an opportunity to catch someone doing something positive and reinforce that behavior, and also behavior that represents company values. And then performance coaching is for sharing tips to call up behavior and reinforce excellence. It can include reminders of details to pay extra attention to in work or servicing clients. There's some tips here to help you get started. And then a preview of this week's upcoming meetings to encourage preparation, to make sure that everyone has the details needed in order to execute a client meeting well, or the details that they need to prepare for a team meeting so that use of time is productive for all those who participate. And then really the top 3 business objectives here is what is used to prioritize efforts for the week. And I encourage intention in this area, that it's not an afterthought or a reaction to a client emergency, but instead a list that supports existing business plans and goals. So this is really what you want to pay close attention to. And this is also why I encourage clients to do this weekly team memo on Friday when they're themselves in an admin hour and finishing up the week and planning ahead for the next week. It's sort of like a slower time where you can really assess what's going on and then what the upcoming week is, instead of then having a knee-jerk reaction on Monday morning. And then career development here, share any industry resources you found helpful with a team to encourage their development. Your team's growth is a reflection of how much you invest in them. So plant those seeds and water them. And then finally, an overview of business goals. This reinforces your team's efforts and shows the collective progress, and it holds everyone accountable to business growth. And then here on the side, you can highlight any business media or mentions for the team to share if they so choose. So just recapping here, I'm going to open these up. Project updates. This is where you could include a filtered view of your project database. Client meetings. I have this as just an example of the upcoming week filtered. Same for team meetings. And then business goal updates. You can see the progress here. And one extra tip for these performance coaching tips and the career development resources, for those to be truly valued, I recommend putting them in a separate database and tagging them for easy reference. That way it's one source where the team can go back to and find that information because it's referenced and tagged, instead of doing a search through the weekly team memos. And then the team highlights here, I recommend putting those or copying them into the individual's personnel file. That way it makes it easier for you during performance review time. So just a couple tips to make this fully useful for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Have a great day.